So it has just been revealed that Trump has exploded the national debt. It is the largest it has ever been in history. And I don't mean just the number. I mean, our national debt is now larger than the entire U.S. economy. That's disturbing. If Democrats don't take back power in November and rein Trump in from looting the federal government, it will be 100 years before we recover from this. Trump has been liquidating the Federal Reserve. He has been giving money to his friends and his children through government contracts, through unlimited expense accounts so they can buy planes and go on vacations. The head of the FBI, Secretary of Transportation, they're just going on personal trips all over. Not to mention the fact that many of the cuts that will affect everyday people are going into effect after the midterms. He has destroyed this economy. I cannot tell you how important it is that we take back power in November. He's just using the Federal Reserve as his own personal piggy bank. I mean, he's bankrupt every business he's ever owned. What did people think he was going to do?
Donald Trump, you sorry son of a bitch. 2 bags of groceries for $46. I run into my constituents at this store every few days, and they all complain about your bullshit economy, and rightly so. You have fucked the American people, and we deserve so much more than your piece of shit Trump economics. The only thing you've ever said true is what you said yesterday. You don't give a shit about what you've done to our pocketbooks because you don't go to the grocery store, you piece of shit. You're worthless. You're worthless. And the American people deserve so much more than this garbage. And I hope that everybody that voted for you now fucking finally figures it out. That they got scammed.
I never thought in a million years that I would actually regret voting for Donald Trump. Listen to this, you guys. My job has been frozen. Okay, I was one of the top researchers in my department. And, I never thought the day would come when an unelected person like Musk would start digging into where everyone's tax dollars are going. I thought my job was safe. Okay. Now, because of Donald Trump and Elon Musk, how are we ever going to find out if cats really hate dogs and dogs really hate cats? I mean, we were making groundbreaking work. Okay. And we were on the cusp of discovering that felines and canines really do at their core hate each other. And now it's gone. It's all gone. I cannot believe I voted for this.
Literally ran his campaign on affordability, is telling you to your face that he does not care about the financial situations of average Americans during this war that he started. The man has bankrupted, 7 businesses? And he is a straight up con man, and you people fell for it. You voted for him believing that he was going to make life more affordable, that he was going to make prices go down when absolutely nothing has happened but the opposite. Prices of everything has gone up. People who still make the minimum wage, they almost can't afford gas. Their hourly rate in some states is what it costs for a gallon of gas. Do you people realize how ridiculous that is? We are put in a system that is set up for us to fail, yet the rich and the elite are telling us that we need to try harder, that we need to just work harder.
Ridiculous.
You've got James Charles out here cussing a girl out, telling her how lazy she is because she lost her job and she asked if he would help her. Yes, we made your money. It wouldn't hurt for you to help someone now and then. You are a predator and you're out here telling people that they need to just try harder. I am so beyond sick of the rich and the elite telling us that we need to try harder when we are in a system that is set up for them to succeed and us to fail. It does not matter how hard you try. We are going to fail in a system that is set up for us to fail. That's just common sense. And they want to complain that the birth rate is down. No one can afford kids in this economy. It doesn't matter if you want them or not. Trust me, I would love to have a second baby right now. Can't afford it. You can't afford it because childcare is too expensive. You're expected to go back to work so soon after having a baby. Nothing is set up for us to succeed. So maybe as soon as you people realize that it's not us versus us, it's us versus them, and start voting in a way that actually helps us.
You're expected to manage and be able to keep up. There's got to be a way
because this system has to work better. Because this is getting ridiculous.
$5 is 1 gallon. 1 gallon. Bro, can we get it together? Can we truly, honestly get it together?
Running for president, Donald Trump made 3 promises, now 3 broken promises. The first of these promises was no new wars. MAGA, how's he doing on that no new wars promise? Donald Trump, over the weekend, started a war with Iran. This war isn't called for, wasn't justified, but Donald Trump started. His promise was no new wars. Donald Trump, you broke that promise. You started this war. This war is going to cost many service members' lives, both American men and women that will never come home. And it's going to cost us billions of dollars. And when it ends, I don't think it's going to turn out like you wanted it to. We're going to end up with egg all over our face. Broken number 1. Number 2, lower prices. Donald Trump promised us if he was elected, on day 1, he would lower prices. And what does he do day 1, basically? Donald Trump places tariffs on practically everything we buy. Prices are raised up, and you and I paid an extra $1,300 to $1,700 as a family last year because of Donald Trump's prices. Prices did not go down. They went up. And now, with Donald Trump's war, have you seen the price of gas today? The last couple of days, gasoline has gone up 60 cents a gallon at the pump. At least in South Florida it has. That higher price at the pump factors into every single thing we use in the United States. Our food, our energy, your heating bills, your lights, the shipment of every product we get, and fertilizer, which is necessary for all the crops that we eat. Natural gas is a huge component there, and the Strait of Hormuz is shut down. That is going to cost us dearly on inflation, both from the tariffs and from this war. Prices are definitely not going down. They're only going to go up and get worse. Thank you, Donald Trump. MAGA, how we doing on lower prices? Let me know. Third, Donald Trump promised that he was going to release all the Epstein files. All the Epstein files. Not bits and pieces, not tiny part, all of it. So far, that's not happened. So far, some of the files have been released. They've been mostly redacted. We know at least 3 million files haven't been released. And I see a massive cover-up, in my opinion. The files have not been released. Broken promise number 3. Donald Trump promised it. It's not happened. Still a broken promise. So we'll see how Donald Trump does on this, MAGA. What do you think? MAGA, you seen all those files, those Epstein files y'all wanted to release? So, love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and the Burner Labs. 3 broken promises, and I can go through more, but let's go through the big ones here. Let me know what you think. Donald Trump, the greatest president ever. Listen to how bankruptcies are getting out of control under Donald Trump. You'll love it. Donald Trump is such a brilliant businessman, and he always wants to tell us how great the stock market is, and that's supposed to mean all the U.S. economy is going well. Well, it's not. Let me talk about bankruptcies, personal, corporate, and farm bankruptcies that are going on in the United States under Donald Trump. We're going to see how good it is. Personal bankruptcies at the end of 2025 for the year were up 11.2% under Donald Trump. That's December 2025. They were up 11.2%. Then through March of 2026, if you go back to the previous 12 months, again, because that's the latest numbers I have right now, according to the U.S. courts, they were then up 11.9%. So the number of bankruptcies were escalating as we get more into 2026 under Donald Trump's leadership. That's a really good job, Donald Trump. You're getting that number up, except Donald Trump, more bankruptcies is not a good thing. And somebody that's had 6, you should know. Let's talk about corporate bankruptcies, something Donald Trump really knows something about. Corporate bankruptcies under Donald Trump during the year 2025 increased 7.1% over 2024. That means it got worse under Donald Trump, not better. Likewise, through March of 2026, we see that the corporate bankruptcies also escalated to 11.4%. So they almost doubled under that same time frame, going back the previous 12 months under Donald Trump. Not a good thing, Donald Trump. Corporate bankruptcies going up. Now let's talk about farm bankruptcies. Donald Trump's leadership, farm bankruptcies, and this is the year 2025, increased 46%. What, Donald Trump? 46%. Again, I don't have any other numbers because that's the last of the numbers I can find for farm bankruptcies according to the U.S. court system. You know, under Donald Trump, the farmers right now, they're proposing in the House a $12 billion bailout because Donald Trump's tariffs hurt the farmers tremendously. They lost all their business because of it. And then because of the Iran war, they can't get fertilizer and can't afford fertilizer nor their diesel fuel. So Donald Trump got them on every way possible on that. No wonder farm bankruptcies are up 46%. Donald, you are doing a great job. All those numbers are going up under you except Donald Trump. More bankruptcies is not a good thing. MAGA, please blame this one on somebody else. Jump all over everybody. And I love all of your personal things that you say about me have absolutely nothing to do with the facts of the situation. Under Donald Trump, the business situation is getting worse. More personal bankruptcies, corporate bankruptcies, and more family bankruptcies. Thank you, Donald Trump. You are such a great leader. You are just brilliant.
The systematic removal from the Republican Party of every elected official who advocated for Epstein file transparency. When a president expels members of his own coalition for wanting public accountability on a specific issue, it tells you something about the issue, and it tells the remaining base something about what loyalty to this movement actually requires. Below Carter, below Nixon, a 60% plus disapproval rating represents a governing collapse that reaches well beyond the opposition. It means a significant portion of the people who voted for Trump are now registering disapproval in surveys. The 4 promises documented in grocery prices, gas costs, immigration scope, and no new wars were the central commitments of the 2024 campaign. All 4 have been broken in measurable, documented ways.
So here's my question for the comments. What would Jim Jordan have said if Hunter Biden flew to China on Air Force 2 to close a real estate deal? Be honest.
What is your view about this? Because I've known Donald Trump a long time. And I'm struggling to not see this attack on Iran as potentially the biggest miscalculation of either of his presidencies, simply because it is going on already much longer than he indicated it would. And there's no apparent easy off-ramp for him now. And it's causing a lot of damage economically, politically. You know, militarily, America is superior. But even there, they're sustaining losses. And there are many people, even in the most fervent MAGA part of his support, who say, look, this guy campaigned on no more involvement in foreign wars, particularly in the Middle East. What is he doing? Staking everything on the biggest war imaginable in the Middle East.
Thank you so much for having me, Pierce. I've been a loyal supporter of the president for almost 20 years. This goes back to when I was 21 years old and I was Miss California at the Miss USA pageant. And I've known him. I consider him a dear friend. And I will tell you right now, I do not recognize our president. I think that we are an occupied nation. I think that a foreign country has occupied our government. And we are seeing now that this president of the United States of America is being influenced by a foreign government. And MAGA, let me tell you right now, MAGA is dead. It is deader than dead. And Americans are furious. We do not recognize President Donald J. Trump anymore.
You didn't get a wall. You didn't drain the swamp. You didn't get affordable health care. You didn't eliminate the national debt. You didn't get new infrastructure. You didn't get Hillary Clinton locked up. You didn't get Epstein accountability. You didn't get a $5,000 Doge check. You didn't get a $2,000 stimulus check. You didn't get lower grocery prices. You didn't get help buying a home. You didn't get America first. You didn't even get peace. You lost family, friends, and credibility. So what did you gain?
Donald Trump promised the American people in 2024 that if he was elected, day one of his inauguration, he would be bringing prices of groceries down to make America affordable. That he would bring gasoline down to $1.99 to make it affordable. That he would only remove the worst of the worst, the criminals that were undocumented immigrants, and that he would never get the United States into another war and never get us into another forever war. How has Donald Trump done on his promises? When you look at grocery prices, you go to the store, they are out of control. They have certainly not come down. I've done a couple of videos shopping and I will do more. Prices are up, up, up. Inflation is up. Gas prices. Prior to this war, they were $2.79 here in South Florida. Right now, they're $4.39 and up, depending on where you go. More than 50% increase, Donald Trump. That is not bringing the prices down. on undocumented immigrants. They have grabbed anybody and everybody off the street. They have taken people that are going through all the proper legal procedures in their hearings to get their green cards, etc., and they're taking them from their meetings. And lastly, no new wars and no forever wars. Donald Trump, this whole war is nothing more than you, Bibi Netanyahu, and your son-in-law, Jared Kushner's idea. You have brought the country down because of this. You have lied to the American people on these 4 issues, and you have not done at all what you promised. Now, MAGA will support you no matter what you do, but the rest of the country is 60% plus disapproval rating, almost everything that you promised that you would do that you haven't done. You are the most unpopular president. You're more unpopular than Jimmy Carter was. Okay. And Richard Nixon, believe it or not. Look at the polls. So what do you all think? If you were to vote today, would you vote for Trump? Now, I know hardcore MAGA would vote for him no matter what he does. But 60-some% of the country is saying no, and that's why he's worried about the elections this fall. That's why they're trying to gerrymander every state, because they know they're going to get crushed in the elections. Let me know what you think. Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and my burned out labels. Donald Trump gets the biggest F for failing the American people on his promises. He promised us these things and he lied on all 4 of them.
Trump was right about everything. Everything that he predicts seems to come true. Everything he talks about that he's going to do seems to come true.
Did he end the war in Ukraine on the first day?
No. But
are gas prices lower than they were when he was inaugurated?
They were tons lower just a little bit ago, yes.
Well, but now it's $3.98 a gallon.
For a little bit. We can't be panicans. Okay. It's just going to be for a little bit.
He looks at our country as a business, which I think it should be looked at as a business. And I think that he has changed a lot of things, but I do not think he has a big ego as everybody thinks he does.
So my question to you is, number 1, what is a tariff? And then number 2, do you think Trump knows what a tariff is?
Trump is, first of all, a multi-billionaire. I think he knows a thing or two.
He doesn't seem like he knows.
He's got... Why? Why do you say that?
I like strong trade because we've been basically screwed. Can I say that? From China. China's been screwing us for a long time. They've been taking our technology, and I like that he's strong on this trade and he wants fair trade. And it's not going to be a quick fix. People want everything like this, but it doesn't work that way.
The tariffs are working. If you're 50 years old and have a 401k, you've lost about $74,000 in the past 3 months. Does that feel like it's working? No, I've lost more than that.
Look at the gas. I mean, every time I go to that gas pump, I get so upset inside. It is getting to the point where people cannot survive. They're getting 2 or 3 jobs to survive.
Straight up, everything Donald Trump does is evil. The Trump administration is now allowing endangered animal habitats to be used for drilling, farming, mining, and real estate development under a new Interior Department rule. Eliminating endangered species habitats is no longer illegal. Trump's America. For more than 50 years, the federal government has used a broader definition of harm to animals under the Endangered Species Act. It included any significant modification or degradation of habitat that kills or injures animals by impairing their ability to eat, shelter, or breed. The Supreme Court even upheld this interpretation in 1995, but on Friday, Trump's administration announced a final rule that rescinded this long-standing interpretation. Under the rule, destroying an endangered species nest or habitat would no longer be considered illegal. What? Seriously, evil and also stupid. It wouldn't surprise me if Donald Trump is doing this for some corrupt reason to enrich himself or his family.
Grocery prices are about to go up again, and it's 100% Donald Trump's fault. With Trump's 25% tariff set to go into place today, you're going to see prices go up on a lot of different things, but groceries are going to be very noticeable. Mexico and Canada are our top 2 importers for agricultural goods, accounting for 42% of agricultural imports. Consider the size of that for a second. 42% of imports of agricultural goods for 350 million people. So what exactly does that cover? Oh, things we don't need like fruit or vegetables or grains, nothing important. And livestock and meats and sugar and all kinds of products that we spend billions of dollars importing every year. If someone tells you that this is not a big deal, this is a big deal and you will feel it. Trump has been fucking around with this idea for a long time and he is about to find out. Very quickly, he will remember that the American people largely voted for him to lower prices, and when he does something that aggressively does the opposite thing, he is going to find out what a mistake that is.
Trump just won the election in a landslide due to his economic policy.
But it's not all perfect, and home buyers are about to feel that. Don't believe me? Look at the stocks of home builders getting absolutely smoked as the market massively rallies today. Here's the double whammy home buyers are about to face. First, Trump's economic policy. You get a tax break, I get a tax break, everybody tax break. It's inflationary. When inflation goes up, mortgage rates go up. We just watched the COVID inflation take mortgage rates from 3 to 8% like that. And two, what do we so desperately need for home prices to come down? More homes. And what's the number one input cost to build a home? Workers. And currently 30% of construction workers are immigrants. Trump's policy will reduce immigration, equaling higher labor costs, which leads to higher home prices. I'm not a hater. I just did a video on the positive of Trump's policies. But if you ask me the negative, it's inflationary. And home buyers are getting the double whammy with policy that leads to higher mortgage rates and higher home prices. Hit the follow, guys. I will give you an unbiased view to make you financially smarter every single day.
Okay, so let me quickly share my own opinion on this current Trump that MAGA feel betrayed about Donald Trump. So I want to quickly share my own opinion about this. So the biggest lesson from this story is that people can forgive many things in politics, but they rarely forgive an empty wallet. So when Donald Trump asked Americans to support him, he promised something millions of people desperately wanted, which is a stronger economy. So he spoke directly to factory workers, truck drivers, farmers, small business owners, and families who felt the American dream was slipping away. So during that time, his message was very simple. So American will become richer, stronger, and more prosperous. So that is the message Donald Trump preached to the people. So that message gave many people hope. But hope has a deadline. Eventually, people stop asking what a politician promised and start asking what actually changed in their lives. So I think that is where some MAGA supporters find themselves today. Many of them are looking around and asking, why am I still struggling? So some families are paying more for groceries than what they already expected. Others are finding it hard to keep up with rent, insurance, healthcare, or business expenses. So whether those problems are caused by one administration or many different economic factors, the result is the same for ordinary people. They feel financial pressure, and when people feel pressure, they begin asking difficult questions. Now, I want to be fair. I don't believe every economic problem in America can be blamed on Donald Trump. It's not that I'm supporting Donald Trump or I'm against Donald Trump. I'm just trying to be neutral on this. That wouldn't be an honest analysis, sincerely speaking. Presidents inherit challenges, faces unexpected global events, and work within an economic influence by Congress. So the Federal Reserve, the international market, and countless other forces. But I also believe that politicians should be held accountable for the promises they make. So, for example, once Donald Trump promised prosperity, I think he should be able to provide prosperity because people need that prosperity because you promise it. So, if you promise lower cost, people expect to feel relief at the grocery store, at the gas station, and when they pay their monthly bills. So they want easy life. That is simply how trust normally works. So in my opinion, one mistake many voters make is they quickly become too emotional attached to the political leaders. I think politics should never feel like supporting your favorite sport team. Leaders should earn support through their performance, not through loyalty alone. It's not about maybe you are loyal to one president now. So it shouldn't be like a football team that you are going to support a team because of your interest. If a policy works, you have to support it. If the policy doesn't work, you have to question it. So that is what they call healthy democracy. And also, I think this should be a lesson for every politician, not just Donald Trump. Campaign promises are easy to make. Delivering real economic improvement is much more harder. So people can survive political disagreements. They can survive campaign speeches. But when families struggle to pay their monthly bills, month after month, frustration eventually replaces optimism. So at that point, voters should stop listening to slogans and start paying attention to their own financial reality. That is why I believe this conversation is more even bigger than Donald Trump. It is about accountability. It is about making sure every leader, either Republican or Democrat, is judged by results instead of, let me say, rhetoric. Because of the end of the day, American doesn't want vote for speech. They don't want any vote for speeches. They want vote for a better life. And if they don't feel their life is getting better, they are going to start looking for someone else who promises can deliver it. So here is my last question for you before I go. Should voters stay loyal to a politician because they share the same values, or do you think voters should vote only for whatever improves their financial situation? So let me know that in the comment section. I want to hear your opinion about that. So thanks for watching, and if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Welcome to Raymond Talks. Thanks for watching. Bye.